You remember Blu-ray Live, BD Live? Remember that shit? Like, nobody remembers? Oh, I'm such a boomer.
Blu-ray Live? Well, did it have to, like, connect to network? Nah.
Okay, so yeah, when Blu-rays first came out, part of the way they were advertising it is like, it's like DVD, but it like connects to the internet, yo. So your Blu-ray player, PS3, or just regular Blu-ray player would either have Ethernet or Wi-Fi. They would use that to update the player, but they would also use that for something called BD Live. And so they'd be like, oh, you buy the disc and then you'll be able to watch a live interview with Christopher Nolan about The Dark Knight. And it was like, I didn't do that, so I don't know like if people pressed buttons on the remote to ask questions, or like, I don't know how the fuck that worked. But there's stuff like that. Movie. There's also certain Blu-rays where they had updated trailers, which is like stupid. I hated it so much because if I have an old Blu-ray, I want to pop in the old Blu-ray and watch some old trailers. I want to know what was being advertised at the time. I want to know what they put on the disc. But there's some Blu-rays like around 2009 where they were like, no, we'll have it download new trailers from the internet and we'll advertise new movies in front of it no matter when you put the Blu-ray disc in. And I'm glad that didn't stay a thing. I'm glad that they stopped doing that. Yeah. But there's like a small window of time where they did that, and I was like absolutely furious because it was so stupid.
I feel like I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sucks. Being a consumer sucks. Being an artist sucks too.
It's just licenses. How many times have we complained about licenses on the show, and just like be it different countries or just release all over the world, and like the selection of movies on Netflix here is completely different from that in US than I'm sure that in Canada. And it's just like, how do you even keep track of all this? It's so frustrating and annoying. The internet, like it just opened the floodgates in a way that just doesn't make sense for this old way of like just distribution.
It's just incompatible with previous models.
Yeah.
Cause if you find out people in Australia are watching something that you don't have access to for another couple months, you're probably just going to download it for free, even though you're willing to pay for it. There's a lot of people that are just like, okay, well, I would like to watch this thing that other people are watching.
Yeah. Or like with the whole streaming thing, you've got to go like, I don't know what your guys' process is, so if you don't have it, a physical copy or whatever, but I'll always search up, okay, like 12 Monkeys, for example. Where's that streaming then? And then like Google it, go to like the websites that compile it. Oh, it's randomly on BBC iPlayer in the UK. All right. Okay. We'll just watch it on there. But it's only there for a year though. So after the year, then I guess you got to source it elsewhere.
Yeah. You're on a constant hunt.
Go somewhere else.
Playing whack-a-mole. Yeah.
But that was like the whole appeal of the digital library to me, especially was when like a 4K release would come out, you'd get it for free. You know, if they did like the Dark Knight trilogy or something, the 4K comes out, it's just automatically there. You don't have to pay extra. That's like really appealing to me. But then the offside is just, you can just pluck it away at any point. Or maybe they'll charge for the next thing, 8K or whatever. It's just a nightmare.
I would think that there might be because no matter what things say in their terms of service agreements, you could always make a case that something was incorrectly advertised anyway. So if something on the storefront page was described in a certain way, you could still make a legal case to sue if it's misleading, even if it says something more specific in the terms of service agreements. I believe that's the case anyway. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. And so if I were a lawyer looking at this, I would be really hung up on the difference between rent and buy, or rent and own, because those are two different price points. And I have to assume, I'm pretty sure I looked through the PlayStation like video store before, and rent would be like, rent it for 24 hours, and then own or buy would be like, oh, keep it in your library. And it's like, okay, well, if you select the buy option and it's just an extended rental, then you should maybe like reflect that in its description. You should say this is an extended rental if you're not really buying it, right? So I don't know. You're not buying it, you're buying a license to use it, and they can revoke it at any point in time. I think that's misleading, but like, are people going to file a class action lawsuit where everybody gets $1 or some shit? Like,
Right. It's not enough money to be
Yeah.
like upset about. Like, what'd you lose out on? Like, couple bucks. Yeah. Yeah. It's not worth suing. Yeah.
The lawyers win and everybody else, you know. So yeah, correct me if I misinterpreted how that works in the comments section, but
I don't know. It just sucks. Yeah.
don't fucking guess. Don't be a guesser. Don't correct me unless you're an expert, okay?
Sucks.
Unless you're an actual copyright lawyer. It's not even copyright, is it? That would be a
Yeah, what is it? Digital license, right?
no. It would be like a business practices lawsuit, not necessarily a copyright. Like a misleading. I don't remember the terminology, but I'm not going to pretend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like I guess just kind of a small example of something that has been happening. iTunes has pulled, certain movies from certain regions as well. Even on streaming services where you don't like pay to download a certain title, there's been censorship where they've removed episodes of TV shows or cut out parts.
True.
Have edited things in post. I like physical media, and I like media preservation. I like art preservation.
Yeah, we're in a weird space, especially with like this came into my mind with like these kind of 360 Xbox 360 era games that have like online components just started shutting down.
Yeah,
like a few years ago. Like, yeah, we're not going to run the servers anymore.
Well, if you have a Steam Deck and you're emulating, which I would never suggest to do, but I'm saying it as a fact, if you have emulation software, then that might be the only way to actually experience previous games. Except the online components, obviously.
In some ways, yeah. Unless you have a physical copy of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PT, bros.